Hi, my name is Clay Taylor. One of the questions that I've had from consumers and birders ever since I started with the company is, when's Swarovski going to do stabilization? Well, finally, we've come out with our first product that is ever stabilized. It's not a binocular, but it is a spotting scope. We're doing in two versions. We're doing an angled eyepiece scope, and we're doing a straight through scope. And the big thing with stabilization is you may not need to ever have to carry a tripod again. A lot of bird watchers don't have a spotting scope because they don't want to carry a tripod. Or they have their tripod and their scope back at the house because they didn't want to haul it with them, and they miss a really great view because all they have is their binocular. This is going to change the game because these things really work well. This is our first outing here in Grand Teton National Park. And we've been looking at birds, we've been looking at critters. We saw grizzly bears, there's a bald eagle sitting up on the hill over there. These things really, really work. I'm impressed, and I've been here 27 years, I'm really impressed. You push the button, little green light comes on, stabilization kicks in, and from before when you're shaking like crazy at 45 power, all of a sudden everything just slows down and stops. This is a game changer, it really is. Now, you can have your shoulder strap, have your scope on your side with your binocular, say, ooh, there's a hawk over there on that tree, but it's way out there. I'm going to take my scope up and boom, get a look at it. You can take your scope, your phone and your variable phone adapter too, pop it in there, and I'm taking videos, I'm taking stills. It worked really well. Stabilization has been around quite a long time, but it's always been fragile because the way the systems work, as I move to the right, there's a system inside there that detects the motion and moves lenses back to the left. So there's always been a problem with stability and how quickly it sensed that. Well, evidently one of the things that the Swarovski optic engineers did was they're taking 1,000 measurements per second of motion going side to side and then compensating for it, which is fantastic because some of the stabilizers you look through, it looks like everything's kind of in slow motion, walking through glue. There's this tracking, catching up thing. None of that here. The neat thing is, part of the system of the motion sensors here is if it feels free fall, it automatically clamps down and shuts the system off. So even if it's just a couple of inches drop, all of a sudden your system is locked in place, and when it finally hits bottom, you're not destroying your fine, fragile mechanisms in there. So that's the truly revolutionary part here, is 1,000 measurements per second and clamp down within less than a second before impact comes and hurts the system.